Hi,
How are you?
I'm good, doing good, I think. How are you?
I'm good.
Yeah, nice. Yeah, it's been an interesting day. My
Hmm.
dog had some health problems,
Oh
uh,
no.
and it's thrown me for a loop. She's 10 and a half, and she got into the trash.
Oh no.
Never done this before, but
Mhm.
she swallowed some feminine hygiene products, and we've
Oh
been in the
no.
vet. So
Oh,
she's gonna be okay, thankfully, but
oh,
it all
good,
came
good,
up,
good,
and
good. Wow.
it's been an interesting few days just because of the I don't know, feelings that it has brought up,
Yeah, yeah.
um, and guilt of, all I had to do was close the door and, she wouldn't have gotten into the bathroom while we were gone.
Hmm.
So it's been interesting.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's how I'm doing. It's,
Okay.
here I am.
Well, I'm
It's good to
glad
be
that
here,
she's
though.
okay.
Yes.
And
Uh,
I know I love dogs. If you hear my videos, I talk about my dog all the time. So
yeah, they're the
yeah.
best, aren't they?
No,
They're just the best.
they are. They
So,
are. They are. They
well,
are.
hello. Thanks
Hello? Yeah.
for having this space and creating this space for people like us. So
Oh,
it's
thank you.
fun. Yeah, I've watched a few of your videos, so
Okay.
but
So
not
tell
too
me
many.
your seeking story, Cade, and what got you here.
Yeah. Well, I guess it really kind of started sometime in 2019, I would say. I I don't know, I can't really pinpoint what it was, but it was like I need to start therapy. I just
Hmm.
knew I had to start. Um, and I went through the process, found a therapist in 2020, January, and then COVID happened, and it was great timing for that because it was, my life got upended like many's.
Hmm.
And a few years prior to that, I'd never done drugs or anything growing up, but I've found marijuana and I was like, holy shit, this is pretty cool. I like it. So I think that also helped play a role in like cracking open just the questioning and wondering, and like other experiences. And I guess I would summarize that time as just like I'm tired of being miserable. Tired of being miserable all the time, tired of being reactive, all these things. So I got to start. So therapy seemed the best way in. Um, Started talking with a coworker about UFOs, which was also
Hmm.
really interesting. We got kind of really into it there for a while. Um, and then I had this moment where I was like, if I'm going to actually entertain this possibility, I've never doubted that we're alone in the universe or believed that we're alone or doubted the existence of other life. But like when you really dig into that phenomenon,
Hmm.
it
Yeah.
gets pretty weird. Like
Yeah.
stuff seems like it's been here for a long time. And I start to really question like the things I was taught and the things I was brought up on.
Hmm.
So that
Yeah.
helped. And then I started meditating at the encouragement of my therapist. There were a few deaths in my family and some friends. My father passed away that year.
Oh, I'm
I'm
sorry
a,
to hear that.
I'm a manager, and one of my teammates passed away that year. And then in 2021, my bandmate, he passed away. So it was like bing, bang, boom.
Yeah.
Um, and then I just kind of started doing the seeking thing and realizing that it was available for me,
Hmm.
and that it was just like, holy shit, like this suddenly became the most important thing ever. Like
Yeah.
nothing has
Yeah.
ever gripped me like that. I bounced off hobbies over and over, but nothing was like, holy shit, I gotta know more. I gotta learn.
Yeah.
So I kind of fell into the direct path, I would say. I grew up Lutheran, but I never believed, I never bought into it as a kid. I stopped praying. I remember it was in early college, maybe 2019. I was just like, what am I doing? Like, I'm just going through these motions, like, before bed. And I was like,
Hmm.
I'm done. Now then I became what I guess an agnostic. And then
Yeah.
I decided I was an atheist. And here I am now, like completely not knowing anything. Um, so I guess the people that really resonated are at first it was John Wheeler, Jed McKenna, um, Adi Ashanti, and then Angelo DeLulo and Josh Putnam. And then I found the Awakening curriculum and Unfettered Mindfulness, like Pernilla and Todd. Like they're just amazing and really
Hmm.
really appreciated the work they do with their whole Better program. And I went through, I've listened. I do a lot of driving back and forth to work and listening to things on YouTube. So I've listened to a number of the first sets of fetters, and I've been hung up on like, am I, where's my, I don't even know where my progress would be if I would have pointed a map. Um,
Hmm.
I can't say that there was a clear moment where there was some sort of awakening happened. There was this moment where I realized that I was not, like, the world was larger, or the experience was bigger than I had always thought.
Hmm.
And it was this like, holy fuck, like this is just blown wide open. But it wasn't like I am one with reality. It wasn't
Yeah,
that
yeah,
kind of
yeah.
experience. It was just like, my God, there's more here than I thought.
Hmm.
Um, so I've, I spent, I mean, in 21, 22, I was smoking a lot of marijuana. It
Okay.
was really depressing time for me and really hard. And I would just get really stoned after work and just this daily thing. Um, and I was really questioning and really in this space of like, I have no idea. I don't even know if I exist. Like, all
Hmm.
these teachers will say, the only thing you can be sure is that you exist. And I was like, I can't even say that. I have no clue. Like, what
Yeah,
proof do I have? I can't find anything. And I remember having I have to find it and grasp it, and I'm going to see it in my vision, and there it'll be. Or, as I'm meditating and looking at whatever lights I see behind my eyes, or, it's just really frustrating. And I was
yeah,
really
yeah.
down in the dumps. And I would say it was John Aston. Are you familiar with him?
Oh yeah,
John
yeah. I
Aston.
talked to him actually a long
Have
time
you?
ago. Yeah, yeah. He's a great
Yeah.
guy.
And his pointing and his just clarity was like, holy shit. And that kind of resolved like this, like, it's obvious, it's bright, shining. This is this. There's nothing else really. Like,
Hmm.
anything that I think of in the future or the past is, I say it's black and white, but it's my memory, and it's all mind stuff.
Hmm.
My memory's pretty bad, and that's
Yeah,
okay. It's gotten, worse, I would say.
yeah.
Um,
It does
and
actually.
timelines are like yesterday doesn't necessarily line up with this
Yeah,
morning and last week. Like, it's just a jumble of shit.
yeah.
And I've said a lot already, but I want to also add that I think part of what, like, I wanted to attack this, and I think that was spurred a lot by Jed McKenna, and I really resonated with his style. But he's like, you gotta just go for it, and you gotta root it out and destroy it and burn it, and like
Yeah.
that mentality, just, I
Hmm.
think it rooted in me, is like, now I have to be violent to myself in a way that was really, um, not productive, I guess, because it doesn't
Yeah.
really help me like love myself and come into like this self-worth that I've now uncovered through tons of just introspection and
Hmm.
shadow work. That there has been some trauma in my life that I largely ignored or still don't even remember, um, that needs to be felt and loved and cared for, I
Hmm.
think, and so I'm here today, just like, I want to just talk about this.
Yeah,
There's
yeah, of
nowhere in my
course.
life to just talk about this. And then also kind of like, I don't know, like, I want to find my own words and not just regurgitate what I hear
Yeah,
people
yeah,
say,
yeah,
you know? So
yeah.
does that
If
help?
you yeah, it does. Thank you so much. If you've heard some of my videos, it's like an end of an era of teachers and speakers, basically kind of like what happens to the world, right? There's always going to be an evolution. There's evolution in science and math and that kind of stuff. And the we got stuck. Well, I got stuck in the ideas of the past about this consciousness awareness. Even more recently with the radical stuff, it's just
Yeah.
another stuckness. And but there's always been a clarity that cannot really be distilled or put into words or um, it cannot really even be said. And and I think that in retrospect, as a teacher and as a speaker, you're right. It's just regurgitating words. And when I was a teacher for about 10 years, I was a spiritual teacher, meditation teacher in the lineage of more Advaita Vedanta kind of thing.
Yeah.
I noticed that no one was getting out. They just keep on going back in the Ferris wheel of seeking or the
Yeah.
merry-go-round of longing, desire, basically, right? So, and yeah, it really baffled me for quite a while. And of course, during that time, I questioned, my own realization. Did I really realize something? There were all
Yeah.
the signs, right? There were all the signs of bliss, helping others, compassion, purpose, being of service to others, that kind of thing. It all checked up, and I also did a lot of what do you call it? Purification, a lot of meditation, a lot of the more of the traditional thing. And then something happened in my life that was just very that threw me off, basically, that I should not be crying because of this. I should not be sad about my mom or sad about my relationships or my that kind of stuff, because
Mhm.
I bought into the idea of that there's this forever bliss.
Yeah.
Yeah, it seemed like that for quite a while, but if all that you did is help others and meditated all day and ate like vegan food, and just really contemplated. Um, but when life rocks you in a way that, does it stand the test? I also noticed that I could not even be with my parents, and I just made this excuse that they're not spiritually aligned with me. So I could not even
Interesting.
stand being with them for more than a day, basically, right? Um, so I went into
Hmm.
this roller coaster of suffering, and I went to all the big teachers that you've mentioned. When I talked to John, there was already clarity. We did. I keep on forgetting to release some of his videos. We had a like an interview together. We had to talk about
Cool.
this together.
Yeah.
Yeah, that should release. I have one with Frank Yang too, and I
Oh
just,
yeah. Yeah. Frank's
but I
great.
just, but I just haven't had. I just became like really recently. I just became more focused on the one-on-ones because it doesn't put any hierarchies.
Hmm.
Because an audience, two people that are apparently enlightened talking, just creates more division.
That's really interesting.
Yeah. So
I mean, I
going back
love
in,
listening to those
yeah,
videos and those
yeah,
conversations because it's really cool to get those two perspectives. But I
yeah.
can see where you're coming from too.
Yeah, and I just had to simply get out of the way, basically, with this more recent um, expression of just not just having the spotlight, but sharing the spotlight with someone
Hmm.
and both dissolving from that spotlight, basically, and not having. And that's what I say, that there's this new era that's happening, that it's not centralized, it's becoming decentralized. There's people that I've talked to that are talking about this without the knowledge of non-duality, that are doing this as a coach, as a as a doctor, as a
Yeah.
therapist, basically. And and it does, or people that even, I read some of the comments sometimes. There's this guy that he said that he had meth addiction, and and then he also did it to his friend that was in a psychosis or something, in a drug induced psychosis, and he cleared up right away
Wow.
with this stuff. Um
Hmm.
so yeah, so on the idea of ideas, because we can just go in circles about the ideas of it, right? It's just all language. So if all words are made up, someone that is my friend now basically showed me a conversation based on my assertion that everything is a fabrication if the words are made up. So it went into this rabbit hole of chat GPT or whatever. It's quite fascinating.
Yeah.
It actually supports what I'm saying, that it is all made up, even physical. And then we're talking about the non-physical, which is consciousness, awareness, all that stuff is also made up.
Yeah.
So what's between the physical and the non-physical?
I mean, just it seems like a click over, like a toggle. Uh, I mean, I don't know.
Or yeah, I don't know. And
I mean,
again, you know what? So if all words are made up, and if non-duality is unthinkable, unknowable, unspeakable, then no one knows.
nobody knows.
Nobody knows. Yeah. So when my about 9 years ago or 8 years ago, my timeline is so super screwed up too.
Hmm.
It's probably really off. I don't know. Right. About 8 years ago. But I've been sticking with 8 years ago that I'm not even sure it was
How many?
8 years.
Oh, well, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? It's just
It'll
I don't
always
know.
be 8 years ago. Yeah.
Yeah, something like that. Yeah. After this, it was just a very direct clarity because I had my initial awakening thing where I became, like I did this service to others, did the whole guru thing
Hmm.
basically. And then I saw that, is this another fabrication? Is this another trap? And I did see it as a trap. And I had to destroy that character, basically. Kind of like with Jed McKenna, right? Destroy. But my character was enlightened character already. By all accounts, I was living such a perfect life now. Like here I was at peace, like I have a
Right.
lot of respect. I was considered a hero, and people looked up to me and everything. My parents are proud of me. Um, all that kind of stuff that everyone's looking for. And I saw it as I'm like, oh shit, this is another trap. And the catalyst for that was when someone kissed my feet, and I felt really uncomfortable. According to the
Yeah.
teachers, the lineage to my mentors, who I, even up to now love and respect and deeply admire, they said that, well, that's your dharma, Emerson, that's your path. And I'm like, why do they have to do that? Because if it's a reverence, they're from India and everything. I'm like, okay, all right. Okay. So,
Mm.
I played along in there, but I talked to a friend basically said that, well, that's not who you are. You don't like you like equality, that kind of thing. You like being fair. Um,
Yeah.
as a little kid, I'm the eldest of five kids, right? So I was taught that you have to be equal to your brothers. Basically, you have to treat them fairly. Anyway, so I went into that existential as enlightened
Yeah.
teacher. Do I continue on with this facade, with this robe? I was about to go into robe wearing, trajectory basically.
Hmm.
I was in this imaginary fork basically, or do I destroy that? I picked the latter, right?
Yeah.
Bought a pack of smokes and started drinking. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? But I was just in a
Yeah.
lot of, but and then I was
Mm.
just realizing that all of the trauma work, it's not working. It's not working because here I am again, right? And it was messy. It was really, really messy. So about 8 years ago, when I saw all of that, and then I went into hyper seeking now, kind of like what's going on with you, right? Into hyper seeking, maybe this teacher, that speaker, and everything. Much love to everyone, and but everyone's just making up stuff, including
Mm.
myself. I'm not even not going to include, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
And I guess I'm just a rebel in all of these circles
Mm.
that I flip the tables and say, if all words are made up, if language is just a fabrication, what are you without words and language?
I mean, there's nothing there,
Yeah.
and it's
If you
like I
take
can
away,
look.
if you take away the next and the past, because they're also language.
Right.
Yeah. Then it's got to be
Yeah.
just it's
I
it's
want to tell
human.
you what's happened in the past. I want to tell you what
No,
happens when I get down there, but
yeah, yeah. No, go ahead, tell me.
um,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
well, it's I don't know. I mean, it it's hard. I mean, I'll say it, but I know that I'm just saying more words. Um, and that if there's a nice extended meditation, or I feel like I'm getting under thought patterns or what like delusions or whatever, I can. It almost feels like diving deeper and deeper, and there's a physical response that happens.
Mhm.
There's a physical uprooting. It feels like, and it comes up from my guts and up into the chest and around, and like there's tons and tons of contraction in the body, and just like tightening. It comes up into the neck and into the head, and I've gotten migraines from this. It's
Oh, I used to
been
have that. I used to
um,
have that.
Like
If you've
it's
heard my
super
story,
intense.
yeah. If you heard my story, I used to have that. It's like people call it a kundalini, kind of like, right,
Yeah,
where
it's
it's trying to rise up
from
and everything.
exactly from what I've read, it sounds similar to that. If it is or not, I have no idea.
Yeah,
But and it seems to happen now. I mean, it could happen at any point, but it'll happen when I rest, when I let there's I'm always kind of holding tension just upward into this
yeah,
area.
yeah.
When I just kind of rest down and
The only way through that is being direct with it, right? If you, I'm talking to one actually actively right now that she had this perfect life. She has mother of two kids, and then but she kept on having this kundalini thing, kind of like coming up, right? So, um, but she just doesn't know who to talk to about it, right?
yeah,
Because everybody has their own narrative about it. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take away the narrative from it and just being really direct with it.
hmm,
Because it just creates more narrative if you look at it, right? It will keep you in the loop of I didn't get it or I got it. I got it or I don't get it. Because
yeah.
now
I
you're
guess
looking for the next and the next, the next, right? And that's the myth of the contracted energy because there's the narrative now that you're contracted. That's why you can't seem to get it.
yeah. The narrative is I need to unblock something or it's clear.
Exactly. Exactly. Yeah. Yeah. Again and again, I did this before too. So I'm not, I'm a part of that problem where the speakers and the teachers talk about the next constantly. They're talking about post awakening from the perspective of the seeker. I want to get to the post. So they're
Yeah,
trapped in the next, right?
right.
But the way that this happened to me, I was about to go into a panic attack, and you can also call it whatever, contraction or whatever. Rather than, I kind of like sucking my timeline off, but for about 3 weeks, I actually went cold turkey with no more listening to anyone because I went to a point that I'm like, I think I've turned all the stones, and here I am, bankrupt, lost everything,
Yeah.
um, sleeping on someone else's couch, eating ramen every day, getting not working, DJing for $50, a gig, and that would be my money for the entire week, kind of thing, right? It was just
Wow.
horrible, yeah. And then before I was this celebrated, my community anyway celebrated me as a teacher, and they love me. These people love me, you know what I'm saying? But they love the image of me, that enlightened image of someone that has helped a lot of people because
Hmm.
I set out to help a lot of people as much as I can. But the problem with that one is that when the mind kicks in and creates a narrative. So at that time, I was having migraines. I was having panic attacks. I had this feeling of tightness, and that would rise up, and it would be a migraine, and it could never be released, and everything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I invented a whole bunch of stories in my head
Yeah.
about it. Right, I invented many different various stories. Some really ridiculous, and some just dark. If you know what I'm talking about, right?
Hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah. I mean, the story is that there's trauma that I haven't uncovered
yeah,
yet that I just need to find so I can finally resolve.
yeah.
Um,
So I went through that already. Because that's what I thought too. So I think you're talking to the right person that has similar. It's really funny, not really funny, but it's really amazing that people that somehow get to listen to my videos, they know that there's something similar. That there's another
yeah.
person that I was talking to earlier, and I was telling her, I'm like, same here. Holy crow, right? It's just almost it's all different, but there's a thread of similarity that
Yeah.
happens, right?
Yeah.
Um and yeah,
Right.
it's almost like when you go through this, it's the same trajectory basically, right? So and then I ended up, and I thought that I did shadow work. I thought trauma work, I did TRE,
Hmm.
um, I did mantras, I did everything that you could think of. Basically, I did even did channeling, and thought I was channeling some aliens at one point, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
So here I was like, tapping, trying to channel in my head, meditating, You know what I'm saying? I was just a mess. I was just a mess, right? And
Hmm.
meanwhile, trying to shed that spiritual image and wanting to be a DJ, but can't seem to let go of this enlightenment. So when that happened, you know what I'm saying, there was just, I was about to have a panic attack. There was contraction, whatever you might want to call it. I don't want to call it anything because it just creates a narrative. Um, and I went directly at it and I saw that the observer, the me, the self, Emerson, is not really there. So if you take away the past or the future, where's Cade?
The mind.
If you take away the mind and no mind, where's the mind? What's in between?
I mean, all I can really say is that I see colors and feel vibrations and
Yeah. Even if you take away that language, what's left?
uh,
And let's take away the eye
it's
that sees the colors, take away the observer that names it color, whatever.
that's
I just really want to go direct because all I can really show you is what happened to me. And that's all I do, if you notice. And it took me a while actually to even be able to go as direct as I can, right? To be able to, because what's the point of me talking about my post-awakening thing when I can't show it, right? So that's what I'm doing right now.
okay.
I go back and
Yeah,
forth into stories because I'm not too serious about it. But yeah, if you are in just this second, what do you believe again if you're not able to go to the past or the future? I'm going to give you a clue. Even every single word is from the past. Language is from the past. It can't be here. So what's here if you what do you believe if you take away the past or the future? There's a blankness that's often overlooked, right? Because the mind can't go there really.
I th- there's a reaching
Yeah. Yeah, yeah.
for something. And
Yeah,
like,
yeah.
we'll know.
Where's the next? If
Uh,
you take away the next because of that stuff, the mind was there to reach for.
yeah, nothing.
Yeah. Take away even the word nothing because that just becomes a
Right.
belief again. Yeah.
It just becomes, yeah, I don't know. I, it's like an engine that can't turn off.
Okay.
Um, and then like maybe there's a letting off the gas
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
for a
It's okay. It's
moment,
okay.
and
I
that's
see
when
this
it's
all the
like,
time.
then
I
it's
s-
like, okay, we're
yeah,
gonna
yeah, because you're
cruise,
so
and then
so
drop back to
it's almost like you're
speeding.
yeah. What if what if
God,
what if all this time you think that you're driving the car, but it's driving by itself? It's like a Tesla self-driving.
whoa.
Yeah.
So they've heard the pointing, everything's happening on its own,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But and I've even seen that clearly, like
Yeah.
thoughts appear,
Yeah.
sounds appear,
Yeah.
like sights change. Like I've
Yeah.
often thought, like completely sober reality is like a psychedelic trip. Like if
It
I take
is.
away
It
all the
is.
labels of what I look around in my room, it's just insane that
Yeah, yeah.
it's total insanity, but
It is. It is. Yeah, yeah.
also ordinary, right? Yeah. Um,
So
hmm,
what are you without language at this moment?
just, you know, what's appearing.
Even take that away because what's really appearing without language?
Right. I mean, I
Yeah.
can't tell you without using language
That's okay. You don't
how,
have to. I just want you to go directly at it. Again, I just want to take you back into that moment where everything became clear to me, right? I just don't want to gatekeep with words. I just want to This a direct, it's soft. It's a very subtle directness. Soft and overlooked because the mind wants to drive the show.
There's almost nerves,
It's okay.
right? Like I want to tell you things, but I can't.
That's okay. That's
Um,
okay.
I know.
That's
That's
okay.
really,
That's all right because we spent too much time in trying to figure this out when there's nothing to figure out. You just have to take the blinders, right?
I want the relaxation. And it's like I can almost feel it.
Yeah, yeah. Don't
But
put any expectations for relaxation because that's the mind now playing tricks
yeah,
because it wants to create the narrative that is not here, right? So what's between relaxation and no relaxation?
I mean,
Let's go directly to the question. The mind wants to analyze it, but really there's no response to it. It's the same thing as what we without language. All my questions basically leads into where the mind can't go.
yeah, I can feel the
Yeah, it's okay. Yeah,
whatever.
yeah.
Yeah.
Go directly to that feeling. Then take away the past and the future. Take away the narratives about that feeling. And then label it.
And
It's okay.
it wants to be felt.
Yeah, yeah. Again, that's
Like
the mind, right? The mind wants to experience it. What are you without the experiencer in the next?
there's almost anger and frustration.
Go directly to it. Where's anger without the past or the future?
Here.
Okay. So go directly to here. And then what's between acceptance and rejection?
But it's just
Let's go back to
uh
story mode. It's okay. You know what I'm
yeah,
saying?
it's I
You're
mean
trying
it's
too hard.
I guess, but it feels
you,
like I'm
yeah. Go
I mean
ahead,
I
sir.
guess. You know, just it feels like I just go as what I would say directly as possible and just
Yeah, yeah.
feel what's there. Um and oops, wrong
That's
button.
okay.
And it like it, I don't know if it's a fear response, a turning away from being afraid. There's certainly like I could feel
It's
my hands shaking and
yeah, 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 yeah.
like the shoulders tightening up and tensing and um,
This is exactly the same as the woman that I'm talking to you about, right? Sometimes she even shakes, like shakes, right? So when she's, when she's more in a direct way, right? So we had like 4 sessions basically. This might take a little bit more than 1 session, so don't give it an expectation today. You know what I'm saying? If you can't afford it, just let me know. You know what I'm saying? I want to help you out.
um, yeah.
But you know what I'm saying, right? It's
Hmm.
yeah.
I think I've
It's
all gotten. You mentioned the observer.
Yeah,
That's never clicked for me because there's
yeah,
never, and I started looking for something called the observer that I
yeah,
was supposed to find, and
yeah.
it was like I got nothing. Like
It's the
I
blind
can,
side of all teachers out there is that they think that there's an observer, and
yeah, and I
that's why that
just
the seekers get really confused. And
it's like there's nothing for me to find called the observer. I can sense that
exactly.
like
So who's there
there's
to feel the body then? What is the fetter then without the observer, right?
right. I mean, I can see and turn around and see that I'm trying to use my own words.
That's okay. That's okay.
Um,
That's okay. You're cutting out a little bit, so I'm just gonna
oh,
pause my video. That's
okay.
okay. The internet. It's okay. I just want to hear you. Go ahead.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I can pause mine too if that's helpful.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. That'll probably help. Okay.
Um, yeah, it's like no, I can see, maybe not recognize thoroughly the zero distance thing, where there's only this white cup, or there's only like the screen or whatever
Yeah.
is in front of me, but maybe it's not even that, it's just a color. Um, and there's no someone behind looking at it, right? I've never been able to find the observer.
No,
And
because that's kind of like a,
a thought.
it's just a thought. Yeah. If you want to trip up a teacher, ask them that. Where's the observer that you're talking about?
Yeah,
Where's the awareness that you're talking about, right?
right.
Yeah. It's what happens is, and I felt trapped to it too. Is when there was this realization initially, right? The mind kicked in and said that I found God in everything. Basically, I saw God in everything. So that's the observer now. So
Hmm.
immediately there's a separation that happens there, if you look at it,
Yeah,
right? Or even with the radical, there's no me, when there was just, um, there's another observer there, but they call it no me.
yeah,
um, or anatta, you know what I'm saying, which is like the Buddhist
yeah.
way of talking
No
about it.
self.
No self, yeah.
Yeah.
There's no self, but that's just another realization. So what I'm trying to express here is the realization that there can never be any realization because that's of the mind.
Hmm.
If you catch what I'm trying, if you catch my drift, right? So in just direct clarity, right? Because the mind can only really reside in the past or the future because it uses a
Yeah.
language that's in the past. There's no language here at the moment. If you catch my drift.
Like I would use the word 0 point.
No, that's another thing. But this
That's
is zero
another
point.
word.
Let's just call it
The
neutrality, right?
yeah,
So if every single word is made, every language, every single word that you've ever encountered is made up. Every concept, every idea
mhm,
um, that you cling to about reality, right? In quotes, is a fabrication, basically.
yeah,
So, and it's precisely this made upness, basically, that creates the illusion of a separate you, a separate world, a separate truth to be sought in the next. So you're falling into that trap, basically, right? Based on the language. So when you think of letters, words, when language, they're just really sounds and symbols. We basically agree that they have meaning, that they mean something.
yeah, for
But what
sure.
if,
I can see that.
yeah, but what if that meaning, that agreement is the very obscuring of what is? So you
Hmm.
can say ocean. Is the ocean actually the word? Or is
No,
it the word a pointer and then a veil, basically, right?
right. It's just a pointer.
Yeah. So the word ocean is not the living, breathing, and nameable happening of that watery thing, basically, right? It's a mental
Correct.
construct. So everything that you think and know about the ocean, its depth, its age, its purpose, is based on a scaffolding of more made up words, basically.
Yeah.
So when you think about the mind, right? You think you have one, you think it's separate from body, from brain, but these are just labels again,
Hmm.
fabrications. So the mind is a concept, the brain is a concept, the physical is a concept. So let me go further. So even non-physical is a concept. It's all just thought. And thought is made up of words, and words are made up. So where's the separation? Where's the you that's separate from the unthinkable?
Hmm.
So what's between the physical and the non-physical?
Just nothing.
Yeah.
I mean,
So there's no other side to get to then.
hmm,
There's no ultimate reality hidden behind words that you need to find.
hmm,
Because the very idea of behind or ultimate is a conceptual fabrication. So the truth is not something that you can arrive at. It's already the case. It's raw, it's unmediated, it's unnameable, whatever you might call this. You see what I'm trying to say here?
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It's
It's almost like you're uh, there's an enchantment with words. And if you go directly to what's happening, for example, that tremor or that contraction and everything, if you take away the narrative of that and just go directly with it, what usually happens is there's a piece there
hmm,
that can't be spoken of. It's just veiled by the idea of whatever seems to appear.
hmm, yeah,
Because that's what happened to me, right? Because here I was like, gonna have a panic attack and this and that. And then my body would of course, I'm saying, would react to that. Like it would tighten and everything. But it's almost like I'm trying to drive something. I'm trying to control, manipulate something with my mind. It can't be controlled by the mind or the body. So the body is reacting. Does that make any sense?
yeah. It's like they feed off each other.
Yeah. Okay. But if you take away the narrative of the body and the mind, then what's left?
Uh, um, I guess a nameless space, a wordless
Yeah.
space. I mean, but no shape or form, like nothing that
Yeah.
can really be
Like, yeah,
pinned down.
you can't really pin it down. And again, I'm going to go back into what I was saying, right? And this also incriminates me. No one knows what this is. Nobody knows what this is.
Yeah, how could we?
Yeah. The very language that we're using. So all those countless talks about this, and I'm going to say it, right? Is pointless when it can't be directed. Because if why would I have people that are seeking for 60, 50 years come to me and they've gone to all the masters and they can't seem to get it, right?
Yeah,
Especially I have a devotee, I'm not going to name who, I'm saying, of a particular teacher that followed for 20 years straight, right? Can't even have a glimpse, not even anything, because they have intellectualized everything that the teacher is
mm,
saying.
mm,
I'm not calling any teacher guilty of this and everything, but just they don't know. And what they're talking about creates this mimicking, basically. So the mind now is parroting the teacher's narrative about post awakening when the character that's mimicking it has never even had a glimpse, or even if
yeah.
they've had a, it creates a new belief system, basically. So that's why at this very instance, what do you believe? If you want to be brutally honest, if you cannot go to the past or the future?
Well, I can't say anything if I can't go to the past or the future about
Exactly.
what I believe.
Exactly. So where's the belief then? It's just in the past and the future.
Yeah, just exists in
In
thought,
thoughts.
in the
Yeah.
mind.
There you go.
But how does this, I guess, sustain or maintain
If
or
you take away the next, then what's there to sustain? See, the thought is trying to go into the narrative of the future again, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Huh.
Tricky, right?
I spend a lot of time looking at what it is I take myself to be. Um, and more words, but it seems to be some like combination of attention and that which can direct attention or focal focus attention or widen attention,
Mm-hmm.
but there's nothing behind that. Like it's just attention
Yeah.
towards different things.
Yeah.
Yet I can know that, say, I can hear the sound of the dehumidifier, and I know it's always been there, but my attention hasn't been on it this conversation until just now.
Yeah.
Yet I know that it was going this whole time, not because I walked down the stairs earlier, but because I just instinctually know that like the feeling of my foot was there before I put my attention on it,
Yeah.
right? So like it's just there is an awareness of the wider picture, but there's an attention that gets focused in on something, and often, almost often, maybe this is how it is for most of us. Attention is just on thought,
Yeah.
the thought stream. And
Exactly. Exactly.
so
Yeah.
when I dismiss thought or dismiss things as more thoughts, it feels like I'm dismissing myself.
Yeah.
Um, and I've
Well,
concluded, I guess, that that's because I'm identified with thought.
yeah. Yeah. And,
But
and that's why you go in circles, if you notice, right?
I have
Yeah.
been going in circles for 5 years.
Yeah.
It's
Because
like,
the thought, getting rid of the thought is still a thought.
hmm,
What is aware of being awareness is still a thought.
it is.
Yeah.
So what the hell is this?
What's that?
What the hell is this? I have no
I'm gonna
idea.
repeat, right? No one knows this. Yeah. Let's take the camera back on. Just I want to
Yeah, let's
see.
try it.
Let's try again to see if it.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah. I felt
here's
like I was
Cade.
listening to a podcast there, and I was
Yeah, that's good. Yeah,
it's so epic that it's so simple. So what I did is I threw away all my books because it's just a bunch of thoughts. It was just super clear. And I'm like, oh my goodness, it's just a bunch of thoughts. All of these, beautiful scriptures and writing is just a bunch of thoughts. Can a thought get out of a thought? No, it will just produce more thoughts. And then if the teachers and speakers, the enlightened ones, whatever you might want to call it, masters are want to be succinct, want to be just very direct with what happened, but there's no teaching there.
hmm,
So that's why I'm not doing the Q&As anymore, because it just creates this narrative that I'm teaching something when I'm just basically undoing things.
yeah.
Yeah.
That's
And that's why those interviews, I'm saying, I kind of like, this was the time when this one-on-ones first was beginning to blow up a little bit, right? People were like, oh my goodness, holy crow. Like I was getting like tons of letters, just people watching the videos and saying that, oh, it's clicking. Oh my goodness, right? It's just so direct. Um, without the again, much respect, like, without the levels and without the thing, without doing
yeah.
this and that, and just being really brutally direct at the moment. And not coming into any landing or any kind of, because this is a never ending unfolding. It's not a destination, because the
Hmm.
destination is of the mind too. It's ungraspable, right?
So do you think there are conditionings or inhibitors to seeing
No,
this?
no, not at all. in the narrative. You know what I'm saying? Again, inhibitors or conditioning is just another thought. I have seen people that have never heard of non-duality, you know what I'm saying, just snap, you know what I'm saying, into this clarity. I've seen people that um yeah, I hear stories about people that just what the hell are you talking about? But it makes me feel great, kind of thing. For something to be effective, it has to be universal. Like that, there should be no. For something to be revolutionary, it should be available for everyone, right? Not a conditioning or prerequisite and everything. I have
Yeah.
talked to young kids. You know what I'm saying? Um, when I say young, 20 years old, right? That the less baggage that they have, or the less that they have listened to a whole bunch of different teachers, the quicker it is. It's almost like
Yeah.
there's videos that it's like under a minute, right? And it's like, oh, okay. There's this kid basically that basically said, okay, I'm content. I am content. There's nothing further than this,
Hmm.
basically. Because if you look at it, if it's all thoughts, if it's all words, if it's all language, that's the basis of our seeking. And the basis of your seeking is all fabricated, would you still seek? Would you still keep, if the past doesn't exist and the future doesn't exist, just being really realistic, right? Then how come you're not being direct with what's happening?
Right. I
Yeah.
think for me, it's because there's something that still believes that the
Yep.
past and the future hold weight.
But what if that something that believes in the past is also of the past? It's also just a thought. Because where is it right now? If you take away the past and the future, where is it? So it's just a thought, isn't it? So a thought
Yeah.
maintains a thought, it becomes a belief. A belief system or a belief maintaining a belief becomes a sense of identity. But that sense of identity, there's something that so that I is an identity that is a bunch of beliefs. And if you go directly at beliefs, you'll see that it's just thoughts. Show me a word that's true, that's real. You will never find it.
No.
Yeah. So you believe in the untrue. It's almost like again, you're under the spell of your idea of time, your
Yeah.
idea of you, your idea of reality, your idea of truth and everything. But you're just an idea. If you really go to the really, really kind of just go to the nitty gritty, you will never find yourself um, outside of ideas.
Right.
But what's in between ideas? What's between an idea and an idea? There's a space there. You don't have to buy into narrative A or narrative B. What's between A and B?
Yeah. It's just that empty space of
Yeah. So
nothing.
that empty space is what people call awareness, consciousness, no me. It's here. It's always
Yeah, I guess. I mean, that is clear and is not revolutionary.
here. No,
Coming into this, it's like, oh
no,
yeah, well, I mean, I've been staring right in the
yeah,
face this whole time.
yeah,
Um,
yeah, you have it.
but like,
It's anticlimactic, actually, because you're expecting some wow or something. Some people do. You know what? All going to be different for different people, right? There was this person that I talked to recently, and just basically cried and laughed and cried, and was just going, oh my goodness. And then later on, I found out that this person has been in such mental anguish that she was cutting herself for the past 10 years, basically,
wow,
because she can't seem to find enlightenment. So she would find pain. So it was a big, big relief for her. So we just never know the stories of characters, right? So for us, or for me, for example, I was just stunned. I didn't know what to say. I was just like, I was silent for quite a while because my mind was not working anymore. Because I caught it. I caught that it's not quite there. And the I that I'm talking about is just the seeing without a seer. Does that make any sense?
Hmm.
The seer did not say, I saw that. It's just the seeing. I'm like, oh shoot. Because if you go between the seeing and the seer, what's there? Yeah.
Nothing.
Yeah. So now you
I
understand
mean,
why I don't release those videos with those awesome speakers. It's because
yeah,
it is just, you know what? It's just, yeah.
more
It's like
words.
more
Yeah.
words, like two guys jerking off, basically. You know? Sorry.
That's fine. Yeah,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
know what you
I'm
mean.
a guilty party of it, right? So I'm like, oh shoot, this sounds like, this, and it's entertaining to seeming to have two people talk about this and everything. But what's the point,
Yeah,
really? Yeah.
that's a good point. I mean, I have found myself gravitating towards certain people just in realizing it's out of entertainment. Um, like Adyashanti is just a joy to listen to. It really is.
Oh
Like
yeah, yeah, he's
it's
great.
just wonderful. But I realized at one point it's like I just really enjoy it. Like there's entertainment here.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah. If you look at it just
yeah,
as entertainment and not as a seeking modality, then it's perfect, right? But of course, the seeker mind is now going to start comparing. I wish I could be like Adyashanti. I wish I had this realization,
right.
all this kind of stuff, right?
He sounds so clear.
Sounds so clear, and he
Yeah,
speaks. And that was my pitfall at one point, is because here I was supposed to have a realization. And I'm like, but I'm not quite Adyashanti yet.
yeah. As if you'd
When does
know
it
when you got there.
exactly, right?
Right. Huh.
Exactly.
Hmm. Yeah, that's yeah, I mean this this becomes obvious when I stop and slow down, but after this I go back to work or go upstairs
No,
and
no, no. That's why we're talking back and
engage
forth.
in
That's what we're talking back for
like
normally here, right? Like just we're talking about stories and everything because it's always here.
mm,
That's my point of it. I don't want to because I can go ultra mystical with you, and I'm like, oh, just a
yeah, right. I
yeah,
had to go to the vet this morning and talk to the vet and like none of
right,
this felt like it was here at all
yeah, yeah,
during
yeah,
that whole time. And
yeah.
yeah, it's and then when talking about the
The key
past,
is the key is don't. Sorry, go ahead.
no, I
Talking
was
about
gonna say just talking referring to the past when this thing happened when I realized what my dog had done and what she'd eaten and how like I was just like I lost it. My
yeah,
wife and
yeah,
I
and
were
that's a part of it
just in
too. That's
panic
a part of
mode
it
and we
too.
were just like there was no awareness of that. It's
No,
just
that yeah, that's what I
total
mean. That's
like
what I
face
mean,
in the
right?
toilet bowl
Yeah,
or going for it. Yeah.
totally. And that's and again, that's what was um when for example when I saw that someone was yelling at my dad, I got outside and then started yelling at the guy because my dad is elderly, you know what I'm saying? And he's poor guy is like trying to he's getting bullied by this 20-year-old guy. Like I'm like, that's my dad. You're yelling at an elderly man. So I was like in full tilt,
Hmm.
just and then I laughed afterwards. I'm like, oh, I got angry. Now I have a story to tell because for
Yeah.
some odd reason I could not seem to get angry anymore for quite a while because I didn't have any because I just live very very um down low, right? It's I'm not around any stressors basically. So when that
Yeah.
finally happened, I'm like,
Yeah.
I can finally say that anger does happen. I'm blessed in a way that I all I do is doing this one-on-ones and everything, and I think I've released so many videos now, but not a single time I got angry at it or
Yeah.
something. Even if somebody there the beginning of me speaking, there were people that would just like just yell at me basically, and yeah, yeah, yeah.
Wow.
I understand it because of frustration. Again, someone is on a pedestal, right? And somebody has to challenge the person on the pedestal. Although
Mhm.
I started seeing, I'm like, this Q&A thing is just it just creates this someone that knows, and the other person doesn't know is quite frustrated. And here I am, I'm like spitting like poetry
Yeah.
with a big
Mm.
flower vase and a big chair, you know what I'm saying? Um,
Mm.
and that's what I'm saying is that when that era is seen as just Jurassic, then the clarity can usher in. You know what I'm saying?
So what's the practice?
What's
Is there a
between doing
practice?
and not doing?
Yeah,
What's between practicing and not practicing?
being. Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, now I'm touching into another thing that is like a problem.
Yeah, go ahead.
There's like this sense of being unable to, uh, like, I don't want to, like, I'm never content where I'm at, and I want to be
Hmm.
somewhere else. After this, I got to do my job or whatever, finish up working from home, and then we're gonna go for a walk and have the evening normal routines and whatnot. But if I sit down to play video games, I'm not going to be content because I should be doing something else. Or if I sit down to meditate, I'll wish I were playing video games. Or if I should be out for a walk or cleaning the house
Yeah.
or doing all these other things I'm not currently doing. So
Yeah.
there's like this discontent with whatever's happening that
Yeah.
I'm into now because I'm missing out or
What are you without that
not fulfilling.
experiencer?
I don't know,
Yeah,
that
there you go.
experiencer.
Yeah, yeah. Because it
Like,
dictates the show. Like there's discontent here and there and everything. It creates my experience is good while I'm doing this. It jumps from experience to you know what I'm saying? It's just another seeking if you look at it.
hmm, yeah, I want to unwind all these knots.
Yeah, yeah.
It feels like a
Again,
knot.
okay. Yeah, it
Uh,
is. If you look at it, like people actually, I've said this too before. It's like when people usually come book, it's like a ball of nut that's completely, you know what I'm saying,
yeah,
knotted and everything, right? So we're just unknotting. Some people are tighter knots, you know what I'm saying? And some people are, it's just one string that you need to pull, and you're like, okay, there you go, that kind of
yeah,
thing. This is just a belief again, but looks like you have a bunch of knots yet. You know what I'm saying? And it's okay, it's all right. But at least you're seeing when things get unknotted, you're like, oh, okay, there it is. Another one will come up, right? This unknot that again, right? And all that you're really, and I'm going to be direct, right? All that you're really buying into is just language.
huh.
Yeah.
So say I'm noticing or catching that discontent.
Hmm. But even without that language,
The turnaround is look at the language.
yeah,
What's
go to the root. Why, like, why pussyfoot around it? You know what I'm saying? Go directly where the root is, basically. Right?
yeah,
Yeah. And if you
interesting.
really want to go to the root, right? The I is like, okay, so after my clarity, I was starting to read some stuff. Like I didn't even have my phone. I think I wrote a couple of things on the iPad, but that was just clear. It was just, and again, don't compare. You know what I'm saying? I had a lot of suffering that was happening that I was so congested. It's like a bottleneck and everything just went. And then I was trying to read some stuff on my phone or whatever, and it was just squiggly lines, squiggles and lines. And I could not even, I'm like, I could not even speak properly, right? It was just like my mind just kind of like, it was just such a long time without that mind, right? That I didn't know that 30 days has passed and I'm supposed to go back into society.
Yeah,
Like, and and so what I started noticing is the eye is just a straight line. It's almost like a division. It like separates. So if you want to go to the root, where's the I if you can go to the past and the future? Where's the self if you can go to the past and the future? Even if you say it's all self, that's based on the past. It's an idea from the past. I'm not talking about in teaching. See that the biggest hang up for seekers is the teachings of others. Because you've heard many iterations of this, many versions of this, that you're almost like a parrot.
right.
This is a really fresh take on it, right? Even people that even people that get called out that are copying me, they're like, oh no, this is the Tao. And I'm like, this is nothing to do with any of that. Because that's just even language. Even when you say that the Tao cannot be spoken, that's already been said. That's an identifier, that's a label already. You see what I'm trying
Yeah,
to get at here?
I think so. Like
Yeah,
people have now identified with that the Tao Te Ching is like that's their
yeah,
the opening line is
yeah, yeah,
their identity.
yeah. So
Yeah.
if I want to be, transparent, this is not really non-duality anymore. This is beyond that, basically. Non-duality is a trap, right? If you look at it, I have to use the word non-duality so people can find me. but when there was this realization, I just it was just so clear, and I'm like, oh goodness, what the hell? There's nothing to realize. It's all here. If it's all here, then where's Emerson? I'm like, oh shoot, I can't find Emerson. It's just a thought.
Where so in that moment doubt went away. Like I guess
Yeah. And
I've
I
had
was
that
just
feeling.
I was just DJing, right? And in the middle of my DJing, and I just kind of like, I'm like, wait a second. And I've done this hundreds, thousands of times, right? I just didn't see it. That when I'm DJing, it's just all somehow spontaneously happening.
Yeah.
I'm not even thinking, right?
Yeah.
And then people can say that you have a great library, you have a good playlist. I don't even plan it. It's just very spontaneous for me. It's just at the moment, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, it's very precise. It's like when somebody's running, basically, right? Or somebody is playing sports or somebody playing piano, like they go
Mhm.
into that. Or the songwriters that writes this song that are classics. They're like, I don't know who wrote it. It just wrote by itself. So I always go into that place when I'm DJing. So it's almost like let's just call it by grace, that when I was about to have my panic attack, I just went directly to DJing and then boom.
Mm.
And then I was DJing and I was like looking around. And then after I DJed, I just looked around. I'm like, oh, I can't find Emerson.
Mm.
And those long sustained wordless, exercises basically, like meditation, basically, right? Is almost like an entry into that spaciousness because the mind can't seem to go. The mind has nowhere to go because you're busy doing something that requires really no thinking because it's almost like I can do this in my sleep basically. It's like playing tennis. If you have ever played, someone's telling me before, like if you play ping pong, the speed of it basically is very, very speed that your mind goes away.
Yeah.
So basically I um accidentally tricked the mind into the in
Mm.
between the left brain and the right brain. Basically, there's the spaciousness. And then this languaging didn't even come until like I just saw a whole bunch of I was doing a retreat, like I don't even know how I get popular. There was 100 people in my retreat. Word of mouth. I was my YouTube was not up. I was like at 2,000 subscribers. And but I have this guy that I got out of cult, right? His name is Scott, and Scotty is assist me in these events, and then he got a whole bunch. He's in a big spiritual community in the West Coast, so he knows a lot of people that are trapped in not trapped, sorry, that's the wrong word, that are in Course in Miracles,
Mm.
that fellowship thing. So he gathered
Mm.
seekers that wanted out of their communities or cult, basically. So he gathered like 100 people, and then he had some inheritance money that he wanted to give to a guru, and then he was trying to give it to me, and I'm like, no, no, no. Then I become your guru, kind of thing. I said, why don't you help people that are suffering and everything, and I'll do the retreat for free, and it will be a vacation for me, right? So I didn't know it was going to be that tough, but
Mm.
so I was facing this 100 people with all sorts of different belief systems. I'm like, oh shit, I can't even do my monologue here because they'll just say, there's no me, it's all consciousness. Everybody will have this different belief system thrown at me. So
Yeah.
at that pivotal moment, I basically told my organizer, I said, Scotty, I said, he goes, is it the big chair, Emerson? I don't, is it the flowers? I just, we just, I'm like, no, 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 it's not that. I said, let's get another chair. And then, and I'm like, I'm going to do one-on-ones with everybody. Let's all be equal here, right? So I did one-on-ones with everybody for like, I don't know, 10, 12 hours.
Wow.
I thought it was going to be a vacation, but it was like I was sweating because
Yeah.
there's
That's pretty intense.
It was intense, 100 people one-on-one
Yeah.
for 5 days, right? But and then midway through it, there were people missing. I'm like, oh, this is not working. But even though people were blanking out, they're like, and then towards the end, the people were like, hey, Emerson, sorry we left, but we were the first group that did the one-on-ones. We didn't need it anyway. We just wanted to go sightseeing. So I kind of, I
Hmm.
had a feeling like, oh shit, this is it. This is the one that's working because I
Hmm.
went through many different angles, and I think that's what teachers are doing. They're just going through many different angles, and to see which one can free you,
Yeah.
right? And people might get free with John Wheeler or Angelo and Josh and everything. That might work. I'm more the kind of person that are more the hardcore ones, right?
Yeah.
People that are like you. It's like,
Yeah.
yeah.
Hmm.
I just said like before you had three different people that were super, super kind of like just into they've tried everything already, right? And I'm not saying that this is better than everything else. Maybe because of the entanglement of their seeking, they've come to a point that they become immune to the words of the teacher, to what they're pointing at, right?
Yeah. That's interesting.
Mhm. Or maybe we're progressing in a way that the mind is adapting that none of those modalities are working anymore. Surely people, if somebody's doing this and if they can show how to, if they can show how people can get free, they would show in the video. They would not keep it.
Right.
Yeah. But because of the tradition of having a guru, a teacher in a big pedestal,
Yeah.
getting as many followers, but ask really how many of those people are getting released, right?
Hmm. Yeah. That's interesting.
Hmm.
I feel like I've done a fine job of avoiding being sucked into a particular guru
Yeah,
or
yeah.
a
I did too, to be honest, but I would give my guru my all, say, but I didn't have any intention of being a disciple. Actually, there was one time that I said it's a famous guru's name, and I was just so tired. I was just kind of like, you know what?
Mhm.
I'm gonna give you a lot of my money. Just make me into a disciple, and everything. I just want to feel great. I just want to feel loved again. I just want to feel,
Hmm.
normal again because I was in mental suffering, basically, just psychological stuff.
Yeah.
And then, of course, when I got there, I gave all my money, and then I felt like, oh my goodness, I felt like I heard the words and it's just regurgitated words again. I'm like, oh no,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah. More of the same.
more of the
Yeah.
same thing, right?
Hmm.
How you doing anyway? I've just been talking and talking here, Kate. Sorry.
Yeah. No, it's good. I think I don't know where these words are coming from.
Yeah,
Um, it's there was some up, I don't know, energy, I guess is all I can really describe it as energy. Um, I it becomes hard to even say anything because it feels, just like more words. It's wrong. It's,
but even the
I mean,
word
it's
wrong
all
is
allowed.
made up. Yeah, it's all
All
allowed.
right.
Yeah,
Like this, I could say that this space allows everything. I could say anything, and it's not going to be resisted.
no,
Um,
no,
or sounds can, it's this. The five senses can have things appear and disappear without resistance. I can feel that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Um,
It's freedom from all ideas of freedom, right? That's what I
yeah.
talk about. Yeah, because if your freedom is
Hmm.
based on someone's idea of freedom, then you might feel good for a bit, but
I
how
like
long does
that.
that last? Yeah,
Hmm.
because no matter how much I meditated, like the gurus and what I'm saying, and tried to live their life, I missed my mom, I missed my nephews, my nieces, I missed going out dancing, that kind of thing, right? And it was just like I was putting myself in a box that I didn't belong to. It's like I was a circle trying to fit into a square.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was trying so hard. I even went vegetarian.
Yeah. I ended up going vegetarian. Um, and I just realized that it was. the right move for me. Uh,
That's good.
yeah, it was weird. It was just became like it really. I think it was leading up to that too, because if I eat meat, I'd feel gross and just feel like a little revolting. And um, really, that's the true reason. Like I can say it's because of animal rights and it's because of all these,
At least you're honest about it. But I
but it's
when
because it was revolting to me. It just became gross to eat flesh. It's like, really, that's what it boils down to.
and that's
Uh,
great. When
yeah,
I became vegan and vegetarian, it was for spiritual superiority.
hmm, yeah,
And of
yeah. I
course,
didn't have that.
when you're doing it for superiority, then someone's always going to do it better than you. So I just kept on going. So I
Right.
fell into that trap,
There's
right? So
always, yeah.
yeah. So I'm like, oh, what do you mean that you're only eating fruits that fall off a tree? I'm like, I'm gonna do that.
Wow. Yeah.
Of course, after years of just not even eating any protein, you know what I'm saying? I did it recklessly because I was going with what the monks were doing or
Right.
what I've heard of everybody. Then retiring, I ended up in the hospital and just
Oh, wow.
and then the doctor goes, you have an
Yeah.
eating disorder. And I'm like, no, I'm enlightened. So
Yeah.
okay, all right, yeah, yeah. Good that you read
Huh.
the psychiatric part and that kind of thing.
Yeah, it sounds like a lot of, the story of Emerson is can be sounds like a bumpy one at times.
Oh my goodness, it was
Yeah.
horrible, horrible.
Yeah.
There were some great moments too. You know, there were some great moments where a whole community loved you and looked up to you, and then you felt, a lot of compassion for everybody. You know, like you're just in a bubble of love, basically, right?
Yeah.
Um, and when I was helping them, it was earnest. It was not for my. I'm an introvert, so there was no really wanting to be famous, but because I had this community on my shoulder now, so I was promoting it. You know what I'm saying? So, but it really had nothing to do with me being popular or anything like that. In fact, I hated it, the popularity. Right? It's
Yeah.
just not something that even with this YouTube channel, it's I'm so glad that I'm just doing the one-on-one. Um, there was even a discomfort, even with having like, oh shit, there's 100 people now attending my meetings,
Yeah.
that kind of thing. I prefer
Yeah.
like the direct conversation kind of thing.
Yeah. I've always preferred it too, and have not joined any big group chats or big group meetings or anything.
Yeah,
If I do drop in, I don't think I've had maybe asked
he's just a fly on the wall,
one
basically. That's
quite
what I
right,
did.
right. And
Yeah,
I've done a few of these, and it's just much more enjoyable and much more
yeah,
uh, easy for an introvert like myself as well.
yeah, yeah.
Yeah.
So you know what I mean, right? It's almost
Hmm.
like yeah. For me, it's I don't mind, the one-on-ones and everything because it um it's the most helpful in my
Yeah.
experience anyway. Because I have been in front of big audience and all that. I've been into like festivals and do you think one person even even one person, right? They might have an experience. Oh, it's great, you know what I'm saying? But I just felt like a bunch of gatekeeping that was happening.
Hmm.
I'm going to keep my enlightenment and not tell you how directly I got it by creating this narrative or by giving you a lot of levels,
Yeah.
kind of thing. Yeah.
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 Hmm. Well, that's good.
Yeah.
It's nice to just speak openly too. So thank you for
Yeah.
the space.
Yeah. Yeah. It is. It's good.
I
It's good to do shop talk about this, right? It's like,
uh,
it's funny, right? That during my retreat, I just I just went on a tangent of how because I've been in both sides. I've been on the more kind of like direct path, radical. I've been into lineage. I've been into all that kind of stuff. So I just had like an hour and a half talk. Someone was bothered by it. They were like, "Why did you talk about that?" And then, but a few people came to me. The quiet one said that I needed to hear that.
hmm,
I needed an expose of it, basically, right? Because I'm so accustomed, even as when I did nothing media about 5 years ago. Um, there was a lot of reverence for the teachers still and the speakers and everything. even though I was seeing that what they're doing is performative because I talked to them privately.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hmm.
So I'm on the side of the seekers now because there's this almost like an elite group of apparently enlightened beings and everything that, you know, that just don't even know their authority and their privilege, basically, right?
Hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. Most of them are great, great people. Let's just go there, but they don't see that they're in a privileged position. And sometimes they should go get off their high horse.
Yeah. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's true.
Yeah.
Nice. Hmm.
Because when a teacher gets too big, they can't even do this anymore. You go on tours around the world,
Yeah.
you have retreats with like
Right.
800, 500 people and everything. It's good for your wallet, you know what I'm saying? But how do you sleep at night?
Yeah. Where's the connection with the person?
Yeah.
Yeah.
And if you're really here to alleviate suffering, would you rather do it surely with one person at a time or just in a pedestal and
Yeah.
knowing that no one gets out? Would you rather be a prison guard, you know what I'm saying, or a rebel that sneaks people out?
I like it.
Yeah,
That's cool.
yeah. And that's what I felt like. I'm like, am I being a rebel? Am I being a prison guard
Hmm.
again? Let's rebel a little bit. Let's shake
Yeah.
up this whole system again, right? Let's make them cancel me.
Cool.
Let's call out all the words. Let's call out all the contradictions that's being said out
Yeah.
there, right?
Yeah. Well, I don't know. I feel good right now. I feel, I don't know. I was going to say well suited to move forward, but maybe it's better said to say like, well, uh, able to take what comes. I don't know.
Yeah. I
Yeah.
usually recommend a follow up because the mind will try to create a coup d'etat or a takeover. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? If you're short on funds, just let me know. But I do like follow ups just to
Okay.
be just to be on the responsible side to see what happens because some people
Mhm.
um when not expecting, I'm saying some of them go into a crying fit or a laughing fit or whatever seems to appear, right?
Yeah.
It can feel like just absolute oh, anticlimactic. There could be madness sometimes, right? there's this there's this person that I'm talking to, the one that had this, you know, um, Kundalini thing.
Hmm.
And after we talked, she goes, "Oh, Emerson, there was so much clarity." And then it went dark. And I'm like, "What happened when it went dark?" And she goes, "I don't know. It was just dark, just something dark." That's what
Yeah.
I mean, right? It could appear and she's such a light, bubbly person, so I didn't expect that. Um, but I was glad to talk to her. But yeah, just message me
Okay.
or book one. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying
For
to
sure.
follow up. Yeah, but
Oh,
when
that's
you're not
great.
thinking, it's done already.
Mm. Yeah. I think that, like I was saying, I know we're almost out, but the tendency to seek thoughts and look for more or create narratives or stories about whatever I want to do or how I'm discontent or whatever is
Hmm.
like like an engine just rumbling and
Yeah.
gotta keep going. Um, so I might even say that there aren't or haven't been many times that I can even recall where it's just no mind or empty space,
Yeah.
and
Well,
it's
you will not
really
notice it because the
settled
mind is
down.
not there to notice that, right? So
Hmm.
it notices it quite after. I'm beginning to see now that there's more no mindedness than mind, basically. Even when I watch people, I see them on the subways, I see them cooking, I see them, doing the things, and then the mind comes on and they're like, "Oh yeah, what were you saying again?"
You don't think they're just lost in thought on their own storylines, and I mean that's how I feel. It's like there's constant talking going on,
But that's just your thought again.
right?
Yeah,
But there's never a time where there's not constant thinking. I'll wake up in the middle of the night and it's
yeah. But
already
that's just a
going.
thought.
But
That's
I'm
just
not
a thought.
controlling. There's no controller. It's just more thoughts,
Yeah, yeah.
a barrage of
But
thoughts.
what if you start seeing that 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 they're all made up? It's kind of like when you catch a liar, you don't
Yeah.
believe it anymore.
All right.
So it doesn't matter how much thoughts are there when there's no more engagement with it, then it usually thins out, to be honest with you. Right? It's from what I hear from people anyway, they're like, oh, it doesn't matter anymore. Because I do get the misfits and the rebels and people that have gone through so much seeking that they've tried everything and they're the most usually the most um intense seekers.
Hmm.
And usually their thoughts are nonstop, you know what I'm saying, happening. But it's not here right now, isn't it?
Yeah. Well, that's what's interesting is it goes away when I'm like, I mean, there are gaps right now.
Yeah, yeah, there are always.
And yeah. And when I'm put on the spot, it's like, remember that thing we did, whatever, or do you give me the answer to this question? And then it's like blank mind.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
as opposed to when I'm quiet and idle, then it's
Well,
just
it's just an enchantment of the language
it
of the
is
mind, right?
absolutely an
Yeah,
enchantment.
yeah. So I basically just, virtually slap you. What's in between?
Yeah,
Just go-
that's true.
yeah,
Yeah, but that's good. I think it's a
yeah,
good starting point here. And
yeah, yeah,
um,
yeah. And don't give it any kind of destination or a finality or anything, right? Uh, because that's where you got in trouble in the first place. It's because when you gave an I a finality, that this is who I am, and then look where it takes you. If you look at a kid, that I, is not quite prominent there, and they're wild and free and everything. But when somebody goes, "What is wrong with you?" and then
yeah,
that is the original trauma, is the I. If you really want to look for trauma,
yeah.
yeah,
Okay,
yeah,
good,
yeah. All right,
good stuff.
great talking to you, Kate.
Yeah, thank you. It has been good.
All right,
Um, cool. Yeah, thanks
cool.
so much, Emerson.
You're very welcome.
It's nice to meet you.
Can I share this video anonymously? You don't have to say yes.
Um,